Mic check, check one, check two. All right. We have people online and people in person. And today is a really great day because it's Sacred Voices' open mic every second Friday of the month. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is not Sarah Day. I am not your original host. I am the co-executive director of this fantastic organization. My name is Bree. I usually don't come to these because I'm tired and I teach high schoolers. And I'm really happy to be here. I have an inkling feeling that this is going to be one of my favorite open mics tonight. Just a little bit about Sacred Voices, who we are, what we do, and why does it matter, right? We are a local nonprofit right here in Denver, Colorado. We empower BIPOC young people to find their voice, embrace their culture, and become community leaders and promote artistic expression in the Denver metro area. If you don't know anything about poetry and young people know in Denver, it is a dying form. And so this is why we matter. We are the only organization in Denver doing poetry for young people. And poetry writing, spoken word writing, and performing as well. We are the organization in Denver for that. So a little bit about our opener, because we have an opener and then we have a feature. You get the best of both worlds. Our opening act is Random Temple. Random Temple is a Denver-based artist who crafts his music from start to finish, and that is impressive to me. Not only playing every instrument, but engineering every aspect of his records. He employs a remarkable level of control and artistic independence, creating a worldscape to be easily immersed in for any listener. And I was listening to them as they were getting set up, and honestly, y'all are in for a treat. Please welcome up Random Temple and his amazing band.
Thank you so much, Bree. Oh, no. That's amazing here. Yes, my name is Random Temple. I just released an album. It's called Limerence. It's my first full-length record. It's on all streaming platforms, even the evil ones. Yeah, we're looking forward to playing some tunes for you. Thank you guys so much. This first song was on KTCL and is in rotation on 102.3, and it is called Kite Running. A new kite, I've duped the runner. It's a new game I play with my friends. Ooh, you seem not to get it. I don't have time to procrastinate the end. If I'm behind, then I'll pick up the pace. That seems in turn with what you say. If I get up, mired in clay, mold me into whatever you say. Get me out. Get me out. Well, get me out. Parcel out new secrets, no one's the wiser. Keeping the distance between you and the truth. Even when in doubt, they all follow you. Keeping a blind eye against the point of truth. If I'm behind, I'll pick up the pace. It seems in turn with what you say. If I stand up, mired in clay, mold me into whatever you say. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. If I'm behind, then I pick up the pace. That seems in turn with what you say. If I stand up, mired in clay, mold me into whatever you say. Get me out. Get me out. Get me out. Thanks. That's not it's a little different than it sounds on the record, but yeah, so that's called Kite Running. That's kind of about I think my favorite line in that is that I get to use the word mire. If I stand up mired in clay, mold me into whatever you say. This next song is called 222. Well, I hold my grip so tight on you. That your hand becomes the ash I knew. So hold me while I struggle to breathe. I tremble on, I'm bleeding through. Well, see, love all the grown people watching me until I know who I am. I'll be old and gray when I find out I live alone. Thank you. That's called 222. This one, Baz is real nervous about.
No, it's the next one.
How's everybody feeling? Just so you know, there is a sign-up sheet right up here at the front. You're free to sign up. All acts welcome. That is a slamming mustache. He's right. I wrote this next song out of a domestic dispute. I'm just kidding. That's not. Well, it's somewhat true. If evil waits within me, I guess that I won't fake it to make you feel less. If I am allowed to be myself, get away from me. Why don't you leave? Don't you need me? Why don't you leave? Don't you need me? Jackie, youngest baby, I've been crazy since the 6th grade. Full clip on my mental to audition for your mixtape. I can paint a picture so wavy the both ends. But lately I've been burning the candle at both ends. Never been too shy for the limelight, but I never really cared much. Always knew what direction to fly right, but I never really cared much. I need to stop treating hoes like I need them. I'm too busy making promises when I can't keep them. It's time I slow this slack down to 100. I keep making the same mistake when I should be learning from it all. Karma coming, it's probably gonna be bad for me. Nothing I can do, it's gonna be what it has to be. Wish I never bought the game my uncle sold me. It's a little too late to save the old man. Save the old. This is Basil Gillen on the drums. Don't you leave? Don't you need me? Why don't you leave? Thank you. I don't know how we're doing on time. We were going to fit in another little cover. Do you guys want a choice between two songs? We got time for one more. Without You or Trouble? Do you want to do Without You? Haunted by the thoughts that suck you in, pull you under. Tight. And your words are engraved in me. So long as guilt, it's always here. Carved into the walls in writing. With our broken hearts imprinted beside it. I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want to leave you. I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want to leave you. By the thoughts that suck you in and pull you under. Tight. And your words are engraved in me. So long as guilt, it's always here. To the walls in writing. I didn't want you to leave. I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want you. I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want you to leave. I didn't want you to leave me. I didn't want to leave you. I didn't want you you to leave. I didn't want to leave you. Are we? Is that the last one? Cool. Sweet. Just making sure. Oh, do you want me to do one more? Okay, cool. Sorry. Sweet. Give it up for Bree, everybody. One more time. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I want to introduce my band real quick. This is Basil Gillen on the drums, Jair Gomez, and Erica Serrata. They are way better than me, so I'm very lucky. Anyways, wonderful stuff in store. Make sure you sign up. Have a great night. Also, I have stickers, CDs, and other stuff for sale.
All that yoga really worked out. One more time for Random Temple and his band. Yeah. And while they are breaking down the stage, I have been asked to stall. And the way that I stall is I talk a lot. And it's great. If you all would like to get on the open mic list, here it is. I'm going to put it on this stool. We are almost at a full house, which means that we got to drop it down to 5 minutes, right? So we're going to have 5 minutes to I almost died. Listen, the universe is looking out for me. So we're going to have 5 minutes to perform, right? And I'm going to be over there in the door saying, hoo-doo. I'm going to wave my hand as much as possible, okay? And once you see my hand, got to wrap it up. Yeah, love it. Cool. I have a bunch of things to talk about because I've been instructed and I've been given a mic, and nobody's going to take the mic away from me. If you come to our open mics, you like us, you love us, you tolerate us, you hate us, there is a QR code that you can scan that we are taking participant survey information. If you want to better Sacred Voices, if you think that we can do something better, we can do something great, we need to keep doing the things that we need to do. There are cords at my feet. I feel very scared. I want you all to take the survey. The survey helps us become better. You all are our community. We want to hear what you have to say. Even if it's negative, I highly suggest that you give us feedback, constructive feedback, please. We are a small organization of two, both me and Aston. And we just hired a part-time worker who's in the back, which is great. Shout out to Radiance. So we are slowly growing. So if you really want to give us feedback, I highly encourage that you give us feedback because you're here at our open mic for a reason, right? Please scan the QR code. Please give us feedback. Please. You can also find it on our website, www.sacred-voices.org. Okay? This show is recorded. It is recorded live on Facebook and on YouTube. What happened? Don't worry about it. Oh, pay no man to the man behind the curtain. So this performance is being recorded. We record all of our shows. So if you want your performances sent to you, you can go on our website and say, hey, Sacred Voices, I would love my performance. And we'd be like, great, give us 2 to 3 weeks to get back to you because we are an organization of 2. Okay? And if you want to shoot us a couple of dollars because it's an organization of 2, that would be great. That would be awesome. You are allowed to say whatever you want. Just know that if you swear a lot, you probably will be cut out of the television version. Sorry. Proper mic technique. I am not the one to do this. 2 fingers. 2. There we go. Mm-hmm. Right here. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. 2 fingers. I am also getting taught by my amazing mentor, Susie Q. Smith, who is our feature for tonight. The reason why I'm here out tonight. It's great. I love Susie Q. Smith. Performance spots are 5 minutes. We have a full house, so 5 minutes. I'm going to be over at the door, waving my hand as frantically as possible. I want you to try to look up from your wonderful words at my hand, or I might have to get a little closer. And I have anxiety. Please don't have me get closer to you, because then I'm going to cry and then like go home and be like, I kicked them off the mic. I didn't mean to. Just look for my hand, please. I might like say your name. I might be like, run, 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 run. Susie, Susie, Susie. Hey, 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 hey. Just make sure that we're doing the things. Am I stalling good enough? I'm so bad at hosting. Aston, are you giving me a thumbs up? I can't see you behind the curtain. Okay, this is a thumbs up. I love it. I love it. Scan the QR code. It is a survey. We need to hear your voice. We want to hear your voice. Your voice is the reason why we get grants. Your voice is the reason why we can do workshops. Your voice is the reason why we can do this amazing open mic. This open mic costs about $500? $575 to put on every month. That is a lot of money. And we are an organization of 2. That's a lot of money. $575. Donate to us. Survey, answer it, questions. Y'all are amazing. I'm going to call up our first one. I am also a host that likes to go around the open mic list, so I'm sorry if that gives you anxiety. But I really love our first one coming up. I haven't seen him in a minute, and I'm really glad to have an elder come back to us. Roland, you feel good to share? Yeah, you ready? Yeah? Welcome up, Roland, up to the mic. Something about Roland, for me, Roland is the best. Roland's stories are great, fantastic. You learn so much from him. He's also going national. So if you see Roland out on tour doing the things, know that he started right here with us, okay? So welcome up, Roland, up to the mic. And then, Roland, would you like a chair? Does that feel good for you? You want a chair? Yes, chair. Do you want this stool or do you want a chair?
I can take this chair over there.
Cool. I got you.
Thank you.
No worries. And put that here. And then I'm not doing proper mic etiquette. Sorry. I might have you scoot back just a touch on the chair. Can I scoot it back just a little? It's right here. So you're going to have to take a couple steps back. Yep.
Sure.
Nice. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. And don't worry about the mic. Gotcha.
Have my glasses over there.
Uh-oh. Glasses. Is it in your...
I got them.
Okay.
I think I got them right here.
Hi, Miss Lizzie. Hey, Miss Lizzie. How are you? I'm just seeing everybody tonight. Wow. Had a rough day. Taught high schoolers. They broke my nail.
Happy Friday.
Right. They were fighting, and then they broke my nail, and I was like, and they're like, I'm sorry. And I was like, are you $25 sorry? It's a Friday. Before break. Of all things. Ready?
Yeah.
Watch your foot. There you go.
Thank you. When I was young and in my prime, I could do it any time. Now that I'm old and gray, 5 times a day. And then my best friend jumps up in front of all my other friends we were having a party with, and he looks me in the eye and he said, "What are you talking about? Taking a nap or going to the bathroom?" I could have choked him. But anyway, my name is Roland Paul Alared. I was born July 23rd, 1941. It was the end of the Great Depression and the beginning of Second World War. At that point, things really changed. I was presently enrolled in Community College Aurora, Colorado Film School. So at that point, I'm taking my business national. I'm going to be selling my poetry, my stories for $1 to $5 or more. And I'm planning on making it at least all the way up to New York City. And there's 8 million people in New York City. Well, anyway, I better get started. Heart ticks with sticks. The heart ticks are an atom and a quark in the hand of the God Spirit to laugh, love, and fear it. It is the difference between push and shove, a hold and a hug, a bee and a bug. Difference between like and love. It is the point of a knife, sharp or dull, in fall, in want and need, to succeed or to bleed. As we hoe the weeds of life, we are complete in our garden to help the children grow, to become adults with their faith, to go on with the show. Up in the morning and off to bed, awake at night with tired dreams in their head. Or a spark. Life is a string. Life is caring and daring, feeding and sharing, feeling and sharing, time in happiness or joy with the girl or a boy. To work or to play, as we holler and say, life is funny, but not that funny. Life is in the shade of give and take, awake, standing or sitting, coughing or spitting, breathing or splitting. This way or that way. Carrying and shitting. Tell the truth. Or sitting in a booth, talking about problems to find the right answers, looking for rural dancers. To wake up straight or open a gate, thinking about solution or making a solution. And revolution. This is up and down, going forward or turning around. To find firm ground, to walk or to run out to the sun with a knife or a gun. A tool or a rule. Not to be a fool. In time, we are in space, a society and the whole human race, making our money, sharing our honey, serious or funny. Minutes come, hours go, in hard work to show, to pick up speed, or to get caught up in greed. We find small places, standing up strong, to know where we belong, or to work late as we give and donate to put food on the plate. A smile, a grin, as people let you in. Oh, excuse me, I'm not even paying attention. Actions speak louder than words. Farting or shitting the turds. Life with taste is a waste if we always think and worry in a hurry, counting the miles with smiles of pleasure and pain to start all over again. Thank you. Have a good day.
Give it up one more time for Roland. And if you are so fascinated by Roland's stories, DCM records Roland very frequently. So you can get a glimpse into his stories if you come to DCM and be like, hey, I saw Roland at the open mic. Tell me more about him. And they'll be like, yes, here's this archive of Roland's stories. You can also watch him on our open mics. Roland has been performing with us since 2019, 2020. Roland's been here. So one more time for Roland, please. I think it's always amazing to have the elders in the room. Coming up next to the mic, Joseph Ryan. You feel good? Yeah? A fun thing about Joseph Ryan is lo-fi hip-hop producer. Oh, snap. Okay, music. All right. I like lo-fi a lot, especially for my kids. I'm going to hit you up. Welcome up, Joseph Ryan, to the mic.
Check, check, check. Yeah, cool. This one is called Your Definition of Poetry. Crimson dragons breathe, stardust, lust must be, and the air tonight. Firelights burn neon, speak Creole and huff Freon, might fraternize with fairy tales and let kings turn into peons. Oh yeah, I'm pissed off. Punch the machine till I yell and scream my lips off. Piss on a billionaire, have a daring face-off. Rage cages in a laissez-faire languages. 24 clock ticks while the body languishes. Push pain and pay for more penises. Push pain and pay for more parachutes. Perish, return, and buy more penances. Make $1 million, but I promise the money will never marry you. Thank you. Thank you.
You came on here for 1 minute. Do you have another poem? Like at least one. Just spitting these whimsical words, and then it was just like, thank you. Do you have one more? You get up here. Got one. Share the one.
All right. I got two. I wrote this one yesterday. It's called Modern Times. New shit? Titans of industry and the song of the dropout who stuck to their guns and made gold out of air. The silk-laden tongues and lenses and filters of those who sell addiction and pretend they still care. The crimson, the bones that they purchased, the roads that lead nowhere but to glass empty stairs. The mission, they never do listen to the source of their chalice, drinking fruits of a journey, heroes that were never there. Thank you. Y'all want to hear one more? One more? All right. I just love rhyming. Salamander, slimy, scaly, slander, seraphim in Mandarin, breaking necks in mandolin, pieces made in the image of Caesar and Jesus, A creationist breaks bread and then leaves it half eaten. Leavened, Cretans catching 8 balls with the lucky number 7. It made sense. The sensei went on to heaven. It made sense. The break dance broke down the dirty reverend. And that's it.
I feel content now. Thank you. Just a quick reminder, there's a bunch of cameras everywhere. There's one there, there's one here, there's one there, and one there. Just be cautious of the cameras just in case your head is like full front center, right? That is it. Coming up to the mic next is Yohanan. You feel good?
I'm good.
Yeah? Yohanan likes FSF? You're gonna have to tell me more about that.
Science fiction.
Fantasy and science fiction. Give it up for Yohanan.
Joyous musical silence, joyous silent music, music silent as joy. This I reach for, even through talking and thinking and doing and playing. Call it God. Call it an alternate universe. Or call it the 5th dimension. Or spirit. Or call it the real world. I just call it. And it comes in joyous musical silence.
Listen, I'm tall. But I'm not that tall. Wow. One more time for bringing in this music, this energy, this healing. One more time for Yohanan, please. Yeah. I was just telling people in the back, I was like, having me as the host is not right because I'm a yapper. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I got a host. Hold on. So now I'm back here. I have one fact about Sacred Voices to share. I need to do my job. For people who do not know who Sacred Voices is, we are a poetry organization here in Denver. We promote BIPOC young people to create their voices, develop their voices, and strengthen themselves as leaders here in Denver, Colorado. We are one of the very few poetry organizations in Denver that focuses on young people, and that's why we really matter. And so you'll see that there's some QR codes right up there. We really want to hear your voice, right? What can we do better? How are we doing things really well? And what do you want to see more of, right? So if that's more open mic time, tell us that. If that's a bigger space, because I want to bring my homies, tell us that, okay? We want to hear your voice. My name is Bree. If you're like, who is this random person? My name is Bree. I am the co-executive director of Sacred Voices. I lead all the workshops, so all the school things. I deal with the little tiny humans. That's my jam. This is not. It brings me anxiety. Coming up to the mic next for 5 minutes. Miss Lizzie, you feel good? Yeah, welcome up, Miss Lizzie. Up to the mic. You're gonna stand? Okay, all right.
I'm going to tell you a story about words. I come from a people of words, from Negro spirituals sung in cotton fields, deep in the Carolinas, that harnessed the power to endure a slave master's whip. I come from gospel songs like the ones Mommy sang to keep from giving up, from the blues of dreams deferred Daddy sang beneath his alcoholic breath, from civil rights marchers keeping eyes on the prize and Black Panthers saying it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, to Ferguson marchers with their hands up. I come from a people refusing to stop believing in a country that does not wholly embrace them as part. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plains. America, America, I recognize and embrace a generational obligation and social challenge to document history. Keep talking. I just want to keep talking. I have so many words stored up. It's been so long since I've shared them. Keep talking. I'm going to find words. I don't know where they've been. I'm searching and I'm sifting deep within. I want to talk some more. I want to talk some more. I need to bring these words out of me. I need to birth them into reality. I'm not trying to have a conversation just to pass the time. I'm trying to talk my way out. I'm trying to talk my way out of fear and talk my way out of hell. I'm building a staircase, a stairway to heaven, a Jacob's ladder, climbing out of resentment. And the only thing I have to build with is words. So I'm making a world. I'm making a world. I'm making a universe. I'm building something brand new. I have something that cannot be exhausted. I have something too. Some have material things. Some people have healthy family relationships. Some people have spouses that love them, who love them back. Some have 401ks and done everything right. Some have good health and flexibility. Some know how to love. Some know how to fight. Some people planned out everything just right. Some people who rejected me have somebody by their side and they're happy now. But I can't focus on that, because if I focus on that, I'll lose my mind trying to figure out why he get to be loved before me. Ain't he the one who battered me? I don't have what they have, and maybe I never will, but I got words. I've always had words. I can build a universe with my words. I'm going to make something nice and big and strong like a Coney Island or Great Adventure. I can make the Grand Canyon with my words. I'm going to make the pyramids something to be marveled, something to leave behind, and people can see and remember I was here and I lived. And though I didn't do everything right, sometimes I almost didn't do anything right. But I took time to speak, and I took time to share my words. So I'm going to just keep on talking. I'm going to talk my way out of loneliness and talk my way out of hell. I'll use words to create relationships and playgrounds and joy. I'll keep talking, and I'll build a house with my words, and I'll live in that house. I'll have families and friends of syllables. I'll create a relationship with words, and I won't have to doubt whether these words love me or whether they belong to me, because I know they're mine. My blueprints, my fingerprints, my own carbon footprints. There's nothing else for me, and that's all right. I have words, and my words have life. Thank you.
One more time for Miss Lizzie. I get goosebumps every time you perform. Goosebumps, goosebumps. All right, we are moving on. The open mic list is going and going and going and going. Solomon, you feel good? You feel good to come up? Welcome up, Solomon. Solomon has a really great outfit. Welcome up, Solomon. You know, I thrifted this.
You thrifted it. All right, hello. My name is Solomon. My piece is going to require a little bit of an introduction, so I'm going to talk a little fast. I produced a poetic play, and this is the last poem that's in that play, so it's the closer. It's a narrator in the play. The narrator's like a cowboy, so this is going to come with some fun voices. I feel like not doing the cowboy voice is doing an injustice to it. As well, it's a fable. I was trying to write down process stuff, as writers do, weird. And but I was like, I feel like the only way I can get this out is by making a fable, which, if you don't know what that is sort of like, you know, where animals star in it. Anyways, this is called Big Bad. In a world of damnation, a man was cast down and cast aside, experiencing a villain's condemnation, as well as his convictions. Destroyed and demonized, he was part of a sick plan, a sacrifice to get the ball rolling, a track greased with blood. Well, they took it upon themselves to coat him with the skin of a beautifully slain wolf, as they then mocked him and cast him out to be a wild creature unfit for their great and all-fair society. Abandoned, cold and alone in a wilderness unknown, but he was no stranger to the idea of playing a role. Has this been Thighcast? Well, who was he to deny them a show? So he stapled on the wolf skin that they had thrown, and born anew in blood and sacrifice, he danced with their demons into the unknown. Across the dystopian wilderness, he was known to roam, coming across all kinds of souls. Plenty of those who'd scorn a lost dog, of course. But even more, he found other creatures like him, stripped and snared, Poor creatures, caught in traps, bones ready to snap. They'll never forget when the wolf came across them on his way. What be this foul contraption that has your heart and mind snared, poor creature? Said the wolf. Well, I have been ensnared by a tool of their society. It will be a short time before they are here for me. Run, wolf, for they undoubtedly will find me. But they are always looking for you. The poor creature wheezed. The wolf growls in frustration. Gather your strength. What contraption could possibly ensnare your conviction to fight, to live? Well, this is what I plan to do. A quiet reply. And that is why they always hunt you, wolf. Wolf darted off, knowing not to linger, leaving the poor creature behind to his whimper. The next morning, the sun rose and greeted the wolf, a dawn of a new day, followed quickly by the single shot echoed in the distance, disturbing the birds. Wolf was distraught, howling and growling through the day, mourning the creatures that he had come to pass, fueling his vengeance not only for himself anymore, but for everyone whose lives were nothing more than a game of gain with men with guns. Wolf was tired of being scared, and the easiest way to overcome that fear, well, that was to overcome the fear of death itself. So that's what he sought out for. That night, Wolf created a dark creed. Will I abandon any remains of my humanity? For I must embody the demon that they have made me. Or I will fill these men's hearts with the same fear that has struck mine. I will be the shepherd of mortality, the sentinel of damnation. I will prowl quietly and strike quickly. I will greet their pleas for mercy with malice. I will devour their world and spit it out with drool. I am the hunter of hunters. I will show them eyes full of fire and teeth full of blood as I gnaw their beating heart, clenched in my jaw. And that's exactly what the wolf did. Oh, he was known across all the old lands for being a monster. And of course, inevitably, the men came together and, well, they overpowered the wolf. Oh, they were so angry with him, in fact. They tore every inch of skin off his flesh. The creatures of the wild heard this news, and they had the same chitter-chatter as always. But what else would you expect? Live by the teeth, die by the teeth. But I found myself wondering, what if we hadn't let Wolf fight alone? What if we, as bruised and defeated as we are, instead decided not to let someone else, who is nothing more than a hurt creature just like us, take on the mantle of being so angry for us? To not let him face death alone as he did for those he came across. Well, maybe if that happened, he wouldn't have been so bad. Maybe he wouldn't have had to pretend to be so big. Maybe if we had tried not listening to the mindsets of the men who wanted us dead, maybe Wolf's skin could be beautiful once again. So in the theme of Halloween, that's my spooky story.
One more time for Solomon. Solomon, you didn't see it, but there are tiny children in the hallway, and they got nervous when you started, like, growling like a wolf, and they're like, what is happening? I loved it. Big bad wolf for sure. All right, we are moving right along in our open mic. Ren, you feel good to come up? Yeah? Welcome up, Ren, up to the mic. And something about Ren, they were struck by lightning. That's fascinating.
but I'm not sharing that story. So if you want to hear it, you'll have to ask me. This is a poem I wrote about an old identity that I had. Pain has been my story, alienated, abandoned, abused, all for righteous glory. Along the road, pain became my role, embedded deeply within my soul. Longing to be seen, loved, and validated, it looked for a home in others. I was tired of the same old story, so I asked for something different. Joy, peace, levity. But when joy glimmered, my body convulsed. I felt that the universe was taunting me. Vibrant dreams turned to shadows, wrists raw from wrestling the chains, blood swirls lost in the whisper of wave. Am I worthy of loving? Am I worthy of aging? Am I worthy of rising, saving, changing, healing? Thoughts compounded in my mind. Would pain be my only inspiration? If I let go, will I do more than survive? The noise pierced my skull, shattering every breath of my being. Lungs screamed, quieting the waves. Silence frostbitten, pressure cooked in time. I paused to listen. The waters around me babbled, rest in the flow. Let us cleanse your worries and anxieties, gently move your fears through your body. A spark of fire shattered my chains. Let go of others' passions, you must find your own spark. But what if I don't know who I am? What if my spark is this heartbreak? I felt my body being lifted to the surface. The wind whispered, change your frame of mind, for it comes from patterns of scarcity. Change perspectives and see what you find. As I collapsed on earth, the land said, you must change your foundation, be willing to find a home in yourself, to take a vacation from overexertion. Vines grew, cocooning me in a restful state. I drifted off to sleep wondering, what if I started compounding happiness instead? What if my value held more than my pain? What if life could be filled with joy, peace, and ease? What if all I did was just be? Thank you.
And I was like, what are you all doing? And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, okay, cute. Sorry. Sorry, this kid was also asking me a random question, and now I have to get it out of my head. Hold on. Cool. If you don't know, if you just got here, there is a QR code. Survey. We want to hear your voice. How can we get better? How can we do better? Be better, get better, do better. Okay? I'm just going to keep the open mic going. That's all I'm going to do. I don't have any poems for you. Bringing people up to the open mic is my poem. Ethan, you feel good? I think it's an Ethan, yeah? All right, Ethan has a guitar. Grabbing a guitar. As Ethan is grabbing the guitar, I must remind you, we are a small organization of 2, and so we really rely on individual donors. Last month, we only got 1 individual donor, which is great. Shout out to the 1 donor that donated to us. Appreciate you. This month, I would love 5. Ethan, everyone.
My name is Ethan Isaias. Just play out loud. Thank you. And this is a little Bonnie and Clyde number. Kind of a little salsa bachata thing. Yeah. My baby practice hit and run tactics, always sneaking out when I fall asleep. She told me, darling, this is asymmetric warfare, but I don't even know what that means. She looks so good in a balaclava and always wear her heart on her sleeve. I'd write a name in a can of spray paint, but she only exists in my delusional daydreams. And let's run off to the mountains, stock up on AR-15s. I'm well aware they're out to get us, babe, but no one can ever catch you and me. And now we're back in the city, and combat boots are strapped to her feet. Warrior girl looks so dangerous and pretty. Yeah, it ain't the style of jacket's what she hides underneath. She looks so good in a balaclava and always wear her heart on her sleeve. I'd write a name in a can of spray paint, but she only exists in my delusional daydreams. And let's get on these here motorbikes, take off with incredible speed. I know a place on the edge of the continent where we'll get off scot-fucking free. Thank you very much.
Ran into that tree. All right. I'm always surprised by people who can play the guitar. I have a guitar, and I look at it, and she looks at me, and we're just like, Cute. And Aston has, like, offered to teach me guitar, and I'm just like, no. I just like looking at her, and she likes looking at me, and, like, we just be in the house looking at each other. All right. We're going to keep it pushing. We're Sacred Voices. We host open mics every second Friday of the month. So next open mic, we're going to be featuring some of my students from my school, which is great. I'm really excited. Really excited. We also have open mics and workshops every third Friday of the month at Lighthouse Writers Workshop. If you want to craft, put things with your hands, dance, stretch, yoga, poetry, beatboxing, we do that at Lighthouse, okay? I'm going to keep it pushing. My brain is saying Cam Amina. Sam Amina. Welcome up, Sam Amina, to the mic. Can you share something about you?
I am worthy, and you are worthy. And I love that Combahee River Collective hat. Yes, God. Before I get started, if you know a trans person, an indigenous person, an immigrant, and you love them, or you are a trans person, an indigenous person, or an immigrant, and you love yourself, please make some noise. Yes, that's right. We're here, and we're never going to be erased by any human being. That's right. This is Delta Mercy from Neon Lit Apocalypse, my epic poem, Love Thy Enemy. He was affectionate to me, a feminine refugee. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. He stood up for me, a sex slave. You are the light of the world. He's soft. He let me kiss him and perfume his heavenly feet with florals in the style of fine funerary, despite the sort of woman I am. So don't be afraid. You are worth more than many sparrows. I left his presence, healed of my sickness. Additionally, he exorcised us of that wicked poltergeist, ruthlessly terrorizing. No more are we deafened by its sonic, booming cacophony from incessant clanging of shackles in the attic of our family barn, purified of my leprosy. When infected, he is courageous enough to touch, show me affection in my affliction, despair, isolation, all free of cost, sans insurance, the good news of Mary's son, in sincerity, translated for an audience speaking plain English, of which behold and hear now proofs more astounding than any document, affirming to it my tongue is not barbarous, though how meaningless. What state of nativity negates the foundational equality binding humanity? We hold these truths to be self-evident, shaped and placed by the same sacred touch. On this authority, I stand before ye, confident, tatted up, a poet, not weak, out on a limb, but full-throated, thin bridal veil lifted Christian nationalists, heart-blind, hypocrites. How can we not see? Deceptive as National Socialist, fascist, hyper-capitalists obliterating freedoms, executing this country, unmarked tomb for our democracy, claiming to bash gays and torment the brown-skinned in the service of one whose command is love each other as I have loved you. Foolish, facepalm failing to do the reading, acting viciously, raising voices maliciously, speaking napalm vanities, projecting their personal hate for Jesus and the USA onto vulnerable first-generation LGBTQ plus BIPOC communities. Would you lay your hands on your sibling as a tyrant lays hands? If yes, know that I would rather not, fearing myself as wheat trembles beneath the scythe that harvests that cleaving which comes. Death, the hour of resurrection, preordained examination of our actions which follows and demands answers. What have we done with our senses? An inescapable promise of return to beneficence. Muhammad, peace be on him, all assent most praiseworthy is Allah, whose holy recitation unto us commands, do good to people, but foreign, oppressed, the poor, mired in poverty, orphans, neighbors, and parents, to those liberally yoking slurs round our siblings' necks. Are we not forewarned? Fear the fire whose fuel is people and stones. Turn away from the open enemy of humankind. Once upon a time, on a fragrant day, amidst the possibilities bubbling beneath the markets in Mecca, the prophet frees Baraka on the footsteps of the Kaaba. A liberated woman precedes the abolition of slavery. Free people endlessly, accomplished in the name of one in whom is the hope of his steadfast being, sowing paradise messengers like warm hugs wrapped tightly round us prior to a greater making up. Patience. I only know patience well, saying goodbye to my beloved. Subhanallah, how flawless is the living one, yes, Samad, yes, Sami, gapless, all hearing, innocent of imperfection, and with perfect understanding. Bless your name, doubtlessly, complete ruler of me. I am begging, let our little ones live easy on mother, grace be within herself, realized, safe, harmonious, healthy, all life boundlessly flourishing, you borderless reality, worthy of utter obeisance exclusively, lend ear to this supplication we deem fit for sharing from of old, as we're told is your unfailing love. Revival gatherings, veneration, uplifting, ecstatic, hand in hand, cross denomination music is shared spiritual worship. Oh, our Lord, magnanimous, invariably we believe from our ignorance, deliver us, lead us in abiding bliss. Oath you swore remains marvelous in the sky, a kindness to our gaze. Allow the kids to taste the sweet fruits of our crumbling covenant. See you be that you are truly mercy.
One more time for Sam Amina. That was powerful. All right, we're going to keep it going, keep it going. Keep the claps going all the way up for DeBarros. Yeah, give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up, all the way up to the mic.
I don't need it, no. I'm a recording artist based out of Denver, Colorado. And tonight I'm going to share with you one of my recently singles. This is called In Goes a Negro. Thinking of his rights as he's walking through the door, gets a glimpse of her eyes. She's looking at Jim Yo 100 years prior. He's looking at Jim Crow, and anything between the races damn near sinful. He goes down the road, let's travel, whistling Dixie, right into that corner store where he finds him a pixie. Asks him where that pack of bubble gum, I want me some Wrigley. We don't got that down here, boy, don't you be sleazy. The change in the hand made no damn sense. Took 12 years to make some goddamn sense, but not before he's kidnapped from where he slept. The time passed, cousins wondering where they went. They took him down to a barn, bruised and battered. Those white men thought this little black boy didn't matter. Tied a heavy fan around his neck. What they didn't know was next. An open casket started a civil rights amendment. Emmett Till. Ding. Step into the elevator, meet a white woman in control. She's the operator. In goes a Negro, and what happens next? The burning of Black Wall Street because she told a lie. Tulsa downtown, there's nowhere to hide. 2,000 white men want this Negro to die. How did these racial tensions get so damn high? Let's look inside a campaign trail of racist vibes. It started in the spring of 1920. That Negro was the talk of the town while sipping tea and honey amongst politicians dressed in white tees and white hoodies. Saw lynching as a right. Negro hanging in a tree, had no footing with the sleep. Then he's poked, then he bleeds. There's no hope in the leaves. Damn. Tulsa Race Massacre, 1921. 35 city blocks burned in Greenwood. Negro in the elevator, Dick Rowland. A segregated nation claiming we were united. You 3/5. That 2/5, you go ahead and fight for it. We'll write your little freedom down on a piece of paper. Rip it up, tear it up, then give it to you later. They're not here to talk about it, so I'm here to talk about it like a sermon in the pulpit. Everyone just nods about it. Many writers write about it even when there's pain around it. Think about the pain and the angst. I'm more than mad about it. Reconstruction Civil Rights, the 100-year restart. Martin Luther led the march on the bus. Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman found the North Star in the walking dark. Frederick Douglass made his name writing in the North Star. Many generations thinking there's a finish line. The pains of the hearts thinks there's peace, but it's late in time. Politics of a nation can put you in the bind or a chokehold or a knee to the throat. Ask the USA in 2020. They should know. The Compromise of 1877, Civil Rights Acts of 1964, George Floyd of 2020, Negro on the Track, DeBarros. Thank you. And for the full track, it's called In Goes a Negro by DeBarros. It's on all streaming platforms. Thank you.
Give it one more time for DeBarros. All right. And then someone asked a really great question. How do we give you all money? That's a great question. I'm going to open up this little thing after the open mic, and you can place some money in there. You can also Venmo us. Our Venmo is Sacred Voices. We are a national charity on Venmo. You can give us money, and then it'll be like, bing, charity. And be like, yay, I feel good inside. Yes, it's great. Cultura Rivas, you feel good to come up to the mic? Yeah, coming all the way up to the mic. Cultura Rivas, keep it going, keep it going, keep it clapping.
Yeah, I got support here. Hello, my name is Cultura Rivas. I'm a proud first generation Mexican American. So, all right, here goes. This one's called The Great Awakening. homicide, glorification, family separation, children confused, forced to take decision on their sexuality, parents allowing them to put the youth in that situation. Ask them, when you're grown, what do you want to be? But on their own, let them discover their own sexuality. Homeland terrorism by government federation harassing, destroying my nation. But we won't fall victim to your tactics of intimidation. You're right, we aren't equivalent. We're built to last, we're built different. Bring all the ice you want, we'll never be watered down. We'll never drown, we're rooted to the ground. Your rooted hatred, infectious patriotism, taking a toll on we, the people. But who's paying the price? My people. When we realize this government's evil, losing grip on the fact that we're all God's creation. Pull back the veil, our vision has been blurred. God's words twisted and distorted. Their moves I have observed. What I find absurd is Charlie Kirk's so-called Christian fooled masses, for even Lucifer knows God's word. Church is idolizing a man before God. We're stuck in the way of man, even preachers don't understand. The situation has hit a boiling point, they're stirring up the pot. Beef rot comes along with brain rot. Never been one with a weak stomach. I've been said to spit the raw, the uncut, the uncensored, the straight pure. There's gonna be a lot to endure, for the sickness of the world will remain uncured. Welcome to the feast, they saved the seats in the belly of the beast. You'll see what they got in store. Bloody gore, that's what they got in store. Bloody gore, that's the main course. They ain't gonna stop until we all corpse. They persecute us for the poison that they serving, sometimes serving, others executed by the state. State of mind is what's gonna determine your fate. Faith is what's gonna save your soul. They say don't speak on a man that's already dead. We already dead man walking. We will all settle it when he's risen us from the dead. Elon Musk trying to immortalize consciousness, but he has no conscience to be humane. Ignorance is evident. You could see it clearly in the president. They know what lies ahead. Nobody escapes final judgment. Apologies for interrupting your agenda, but it's written in the holy book, so you know they all shook. No space force can withstand his wrath or his force. We can't change destiny's course. We will all see what he has in store. Everlasting life for those who repent before him. Father, forgive us for we not know what we do. It's only a matter of time until we do. Thank you. So I got one more. Are you guys down to listen or no? Yeah, all right. All right, so this one's called Weapon of Destruction. I had you gripped in my hand, so naive to understand that in my possession was a weapon of destruction. I came to realize you were only an obstruction and impediment to my culture. Rap music glorifies you and the ignorance is evident. Little boys waving you around like you're just a freaking toy, quick to pull the trigger without no hesitation. Another young life facing life incarceration. Another sad case of family separation. When we're the torment and it's evident that our youth need guidance, we lost another legendary hero to gun violence. I must break the silence. They say in this life you can't press your luck. You always got to keep it tucked because it's the closest to you that won't hesitate to buck. Abiding by hate and envy, do you really think they give up? So how do we destroy this weapon of destruction, my soul protector, my death interceptor? Is there no solutions? Is the only option to build more prison institutions? We must pray for the love and the humbleness of the world because the world is blinded by obscurity in the soul, and only then will we destroy this weapon of destruction.
Poets who can spit off the top of their dome. I love that. I want to be there. I'll just have this. That was great. That was dope. Thank you so much. All right, we have one more before we get to our amazing, our fantastic, our wonderful, the reason why I'm out of my house feature. Susie Q. Smith. Eric Francis, you ready to bless the mic? Eric is one of my friends. Welcome up, Eric, up to the mic. Oh, in a book?
Hello, folks. Hi. Hello. I am going to be reading a poem from this book. So it's not my own book or poetry, but I've been reading it and I've been really thinking about this book. The poet is named Harmony Holiday and the book is called Mafa. And the word mafa is a word in Swahili. She has a lovely list of definitions in the back. I'll go ahead and read these. Mafa, 1, threats, menaces. 2, terror, horror. 3, mishaps, disaster, catastrophe. 4, after the end of the world. 5, see Hebrew, Shoah. See black people at sea, Black Holocaust. 6, show me your myths, locusts, good risks. 7, between mother and father, an unspeakable origin. 8, the hollow of a ruins, the absence of ruins, that girl. 9, goddess of ruins, goddess of absence, goddess of menace. 10, her gladness, her quietness, her scream, the texture of her glance. 11, music entering the body in a flash of light mistaken for disaster. And really, the whole book kind of continues on in this sort of definition or undefining, because in this book, she sort of creates this word into a character, a woman named Mafa. And similarly, I want to read this poem because I keep thinking about it. And she does something very similar with the word and concept mitochondria. And so that is the name of this poem, Mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria. I'ma name my baby such. Fuck your lazy syllables. Mitochond dreamed up a praise name. You know you ghetto if, and I love it. Dictionary claims it's the way we became human. The jaded program Windows automatic roll-up, the soda on the side type DNA lesson made fun on the block in the sun with a double Dutch champion, and the 4 wheels on wide feet hunting for fat ass that knows how to leap that rope, a joyful scuffle that almost sounds like the sea having been broken, but it's just sugar and carbon stuffed in an aluminum burning your teeth numb and fast twitch muscles saying higher. It's Sunday. Call on the numberless threads of your one mazed identity and swallow them whole, bent dial tones. Then call my baby flying. That's it. Thank you.
I'm gonna sit. I'm tired. Okay, I have a couple of words before I bring up Susie Q. And I'm mad that I have to say the words because Susie Q is just like, I like fangirl a lot. We have an end of the year fundraiser coming up, which is great. It's in December. We had one last year, and now it's bigger than ever. We're going to be upstairs at KG&U. So if you want to come to our end of the year fundraiser, support us, see all of the amazing things we've been doing all year, on our website, there will be a thing that'll happen, and you'll be like, oh, that's cute. I'm going to sign up. And then you'll sign up, and like we'll send you the RSVP, and then we'll send you the auction because there's a silent auction. We have a ton of things. I've been calling people, and people have been like, who are you? And I've been like, can I have free tickets? And they'd be like, yes. Yes, you can. So like DMNS, Clifford Still Museum, the Art Museum. We got some things from Costco. Just silent auction it up, okay? The silent auction starts November 28th, and then our end of the year fundraiser starts December 12th. We would love to see you there. There's going to be food, community, drinks, performances. It's going to be a party, and you are all welcomed with a fee of RSVP with a number that I don't know what that is yet. Couple more things, the survey at the QR code. We want to hear your voice. How can we do better, be better, show up better for our community? Young people are our target audience. So if you work with young people, if you have young people, what can we do to support them? Also, what can we do to support you? Because you all come out every month, and it's so lovely to see you every month. This show has been recording all night. Got y'all. There's cameras everywhere, in the trees, in the sky. There's actually a camera like right over there that I'm like, wow, sky view. So if you do not want to show up on our Instagram page or our Facebook page being featured, just let us know after the show and we will pluck you from that. But it is recorded on our Facebook Live and our YouTube Live, and you will show up on public access television. If you are like, man, I killed my set, which you should all be like, man, I killed my set, and you want your set, you can scan this QR code and request your video, okay? Scan the QR code. It'll take you to the request video form. You're going to fill it out and be like, I'm super cool, and I showed up to October, and I want to have our video. And then you're going to wait 2 to 3 weeks because we are a small organization of 2. And it takes some time. And we are full-time people working this job, not full time. So give us a moment to give your videos, okay? And with that being said, I'm going to read off Susie Q's bio while also fangirling at the same time. And so it may not make sense, but it makes sense to my heart. That's the only thing that matters. First and foremost, I love Susie Q. I am a baby poet, and the first poet that I saw was Susie Q. And I was like, I want to be like Susie. No, I don't want to meet Susie. What do you mean? No, not at all. I'm scared. I'm nervous. How dare you put me in front of Susie? I'm going to run away. And now Susie's kind of like my auntie, and I am still very nervous of Susie Q, but Susie Q's like, you do the poetry, do the things. And I'm just like, thank you so much. And Susie Q is just like this like warm hug manifested into a person, and it just feels nice to be in the same space as Susie Q. It's healing. You really feel seen by Susie Q, and it just, lots of things, emotions happen. If you've ever heard Susie Q, you know what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to say the words that Susie Q is awesome, just in case you're like, I don't really believe them. There are some words that Susie provided to us, just in case y'all are like, BS, which is not. Our feature performer is Susie Q. Smith. Susie Q. Smith is an award-winning poet and author, she's published, who lives in Denver, Colorado. While primarily known for her poetry, Susie is an organizer, an educator, a singer, songwriter, a playwright, an interdisciplinary creative. She has created, curated, coached, and organized and taught for over 25 years, touring throughout the United States while managing the largest poetry festivals that Denver has seen to date. Without Susie Q, poetry would not exist in Denver. The author of poetry collections, Poems for the End of the World, It Has Made Me Cry, A Gospel of Bones, It Has Made Me Cry, winner of the 2019 Electric Press Award, and the chapbook collection 13 Descasos, thank you so much. As an educator, Susie has worked extensively with both young people and adult students for many years, many years, including myself. Recipient of the 2023 Beacon Award for Excellence in Teaching, she's currently a faculty member with Lighthouse Writers Workshop, Regis University Mile High MFA, and the writing director of Chateau... One more time? The Oakville. Okay, all right, okay. Where she was a resident artist in 2023. A TEDx speaker multiple times. Susie has performed throughout the United States for over a decade and has shared stages with Nikki Giovanni, the late Gil Scott-Heron, and many more. Susie Q does the shit. Susie Q is the shit. I am so excited to welcome you to Susie Q. Smith. I like that we have the
We both wore scarves today. Thank you. That was a very sweet introduction and humbling. I also just want to be clear that Bree added a note during that bio that is not my note, which is that poetry in Denver wouldn't exist without Susie Q. That's absolutely not in my bio. I did not say that. That was a Bree note. Poetry would absolutely exist in this city without me. It would be different, but it would exist. There were people who I inherited things from. I'm grateful to be part of this community, but I'm community made, community raised. So I didn't do none of this by myself. And I'm deeply grateful. And while we're talking about Denver poetry, I do want to say the name Ashara Ekundayo. And if you don't know Ashara, look Ashara up. Ashara is like alive and well and doing amazing things. Like all over the world right now. Like sometimes I think she is in Oakland and sometimes Detroit and I think right now she's in Lagos. But I wouldn't be doing the poetry the way that I'm doing it without the work of Ashara Ekundayo, who's the founder of Cafe Nuba. It's close. Oh, it's Hot and It's Black. It was Cafe Nuba. It's Hot and It's Black. And then, which gave rise to Slam Nuba. Right. So we're a call and response community. So I'm grateful to be part of a tradition though of many people. And I'm really, really happy to be here. I don't actually know how long I'm supposed to read poems tonight. So at some point, I'm going to just take Bree's anxiety all the way up to 11 and be like, just push me off the stage when it's time. Because I'll talk for a while. I wanted to start with a little invocation. I'm going to try to figure out how to place this. I'm going to place this little stool and my water delicately, and then I'm going to stand here for this microphone. I'm so happy to see all of you. I see so many familiar faces, and it's a delight. And I'm happy to see you. I'm glad I got to hear you. I got to hear some new voices tonight, and I'm deeply moved by you. So it just makes me happy. So I first really want to thank Bree and Aston for inviting me to come. And especially thanking them for the work that you do to keep this going, right? To continue to hold space for community, for us to come together, and for all of these voices, old and new, to come together and speak from our hearts. This is such necessary and important medicine. And so I'm really, really grateful that I get to be part of it. That being said, let's start with this. Oh, boy. Yeah. I think that's right. I always write set lists and then change them. Oh, Lord, change is coming, but these chains have bound my hands. Been walking such a long way, I don't think that I can stand. Oh, Lord, oh, Lord, I'm standing on the line. I'm trying not to worry, 'cause they said you'd be on time, oh Lord. Oh Lord, hope you're standing by my side. I'll lay my body and my burden down by the riverside. You know how my hips have never forgotten the drum. You know the way my voice sounds like a conjured grandmother. You know how I write poems like invocations, right? You know how my spirit never sleeps, how we laugh at our own temporary blood, and oh, sweet Lord, how we laugh. How buckets of glass leap from our heads thrown back and open. How we spill sharp, choking out the swallowed stingers. How we dance until our feet open and blister, knowing the stains will tell the story of our movement. We, super magic, we, beloved, immortal, even our echoes got knuckles. Listen, in the canyons, over the ocean crashing, our ancestors stay chanting. We in here, we still here, we been here, we stay here. We survived. We survived. We survived. I'm going to keep reading so many poems. So I should mention what I would love. If you feel moved, feel free to say something, make a sound. That's all right. But I think what I'd love is if I'm just going to read you one poem after another, so we don't have to clap in between them. We'll save it, brother. We can just get in there. But if you feel like you want to let out like a you hear a you can give a you can go ooh, you can Okay, whatever those things are. If you need to make an organic sound, feel free to. But I'm going to read you a lot of poems, and I want to get into them. I'll tell you how it went so you remember, in case it happens again. They hid the sun. We had been called out our names so long we forgot who we were, answered to numbers, to slurs hurled at our backs. Our faces, but a crack broke in the earth one day, glowing gold, yellow, spilling warm honey onto our feet and filling us with its glow. We held the light in our bodies, our fingertips buzzing with the juice of it. Even the tips of our hair began to dance electric. The light held us, and all of it stretched up over our heads and into the sky, climbing until we could see it again. And we found our voices, buried in forgotten chests and shoulders, in bellies and throats, even in our hips. And we shouted, we stomped, we sang and began to remember ourselves, our names, our language, our magic. We climbed up into the light, surrendered to its glisten until we were floating mid-air, and we could see everything then. We could see it all. The laughing barrel must have been cobalt blue. Under the shadow of a headline, looking too much like our children, we tucked and folded and gathered ourselves and each other into the skirt of my grandmother's dining room tablecloth, all of us lamenting and listing the labors and losses, the table spilling over with stories of the times the police were called or not called but came, the last jobs or second interviews, the neighbor or the grocery store clerk, the child at school and or their mother and or their father and or the teacher, and the table listening, dipped in the center near to snapping under under the burden until my grandmother emerged from the kitchen, apron speckled. But here is the thing, the real thing, her pointed finger stern and scolding us into silence. Would any of you want to be anything other than what you are? And we sat, stunned, staring at ourselves until we began to laugh. And we laughed. We laughed into each other's shoulders. We laughed into howling, howled into howling until the moon herself walked into the room staggering, crooked finger in the air, laughed her round face into our laughter, howling a perfect mirror, our moon eyes spilling, throaty and harmonious looking and laughing and loving our rich, delicious lives, too perfect, too precious. And we ate to music. We ate without muting, our tears rolling into our open mouths. I'm going to introduce this piece a little bit. I wanted to read so many new poems. Unfortunately, I still have to read these old ones. And I'm very annoyed, frankly. I would love to retire these poems. So there was an election in 2016. I don't know if you recall. There was one. And immediately after those election results came in, a local paper asked me to write about hope. And so I wrote, maybe it's the end of the world, and maybe that's fine. Maybe that's fine. 1, the good old days. See, in the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily. You see, in the good old days, law enforcement acted a lot quicker than this, a lot quicker. In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. We're not allowed to punch back anymore. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Donald J. Trump, campaigning for President of the United States. 2, to-do list, preparing to live in Trump's America. Apply for your concealed carry permit. No, violence will not solve this. They will always have more of it than you. Make sure your daughter, your nieces, all of your darlings have access to birth control and a long-term plan, either not to have children or to raise an unflinching army of them. Double-check health insurance. Will we still have it? For how long? Learn your medicine. Take care of your teeth and bones and blood. You will need to sharpen them all. Buy a gun. Buy several guns? No. Now is the time for prayer. It is the only weapon that will work. They will always have more guns, and they love the way your insides look when you wear them out. Have you eaten today? Food made by hands that love your mouth. You must remember to eat. Breathe. Breathe again. Steady your shoulders and practice your aim. No, remember the order of succession. Make something honest with your body every day. An arc, an afro, a dress, a song, a stew, a poem, a prayer, a spell, a belt, a slingshot, a howl, a hurricane. Gather your tribes. Remember the places you have created to exist together, the landscapes in your chest where all of their names are written, the ledges within them offering you shelter. They are still there. This is still the world. Breathe. Breathe again. 3, we will be ourselves and free or die in the attempt. Harriet Tubman was not our great-grandmother for nothing. Alice Walker. I have survived the good old days. I have survived my own memories. I have survived 37 Colorado winters. More now. I have survived poverty and its shame. I have survived 1,000 closed doors and cages. I have survived my choices. I have survived 7th grade fights, bad hair, and awkward clothes. I have survived the girl who called me that word when that boy liked me better. I have survived beauty. I have survived marriage. I have survived bodies in, mine, and out. I have survived my own attempts at murder. I have survived divorce. I have survived men who pretend to know more about God than I do. I have survived phony gods. I have survived unexpected knocks at the door and uninvited telephone calls. I have survived the police. I have survived the reasons I have called police. I have survived America. I will survive this. I will survive this. This is called FDT. After election night, we went to the club. There was nothing left to do but dance with our skin out, press against stronger bodies, drink in desperate smiles, questions of handsome strangers, stroke the soft beard of a man you know a little, and when the DJ plays Fuck Donald Trump, the whole club explodes. We know we are on fire and burning. We dance until we are ashes. I'll tell you how it went so you remember, in case it happens again. We were running. I don't remember what from. Maybe a wave, maybe an earthquake, a predator, their guns, who knows? They all blend into each other in our memory, the before times. We ran until we couldn't feel our feet anymore. Our lungs burned and begged, the sharp, acrid terror ripping through our bodies, electric and urging us on. We ran until the cliff's edge. We could not stop. We went over, screaming, arms and legs still running through the air. We did not fall. The air held us, and we moved through the sky like swimmers. We soared. We climbed. All this time, we laughed and wiped the sweat from our brows. All this time, we could fly. The Found Women, after Lucille Clifton. I know their names. Beloved and tender, these women I walk with. We gather each other bustling, bountiful skirt bottoms held together in fists, bounding upstairs, blistering with laughter, jauntily, I know their names. Our soft arms, swinging and crooked, hooked into each other's elbows, sweating, swapping stories. I have joined the tables of women who labor, who suck and chew the marrow, who laugh and joke into our beer, who rowdy howl in alleyways and gardens. We gang, we team, we laid proper now, found and finding ourselves. We grow thicker every day. I know their names. Sticky, thunderous, chorus each other's days. Make our tables round with bounty. Sweep ghosts out of doors. Grease scalps, bring stew, make medicine, raise babies, gather ourselves and each other. I know our names. We salve salvation delicious. We ripe round juicy bursting joy. We sharp arrows straight aim. We women, we sistren, we laugh, we love ourselves and you. We found and finding each other. We still got plenty of room. So this piece, I was asked to speak at a vigil at the detention center, the ICE facility in Aurora. And this was maybe 2011. And this particular vigil was happening on Valentine's Day, so this is a love poem. I would love for this poem to be retired. And here we are. Yo estaba bien por un tiempo, volviendo a sonreír. I cannot tell by its rhythm where this heart was born. It is only music pulsing through palms. We know this when we hold hands, let whispers tickle ears, whatever language they assume. Luego anoche te vi, tu mano me tocó y el saludo de tu voz. I do not know how to cry in English. No sé cómo llorar en español. Tears are born world citizens. They do not need to speak to find each other, to rush into rivers that cannot be dammed. Llorando por tu amor. Llorando por tu amor. I will not ask the wind where it is from. It would only answer with its coming and going, does not recognize these fences or lines, does not even see them. I will not ask the monarchs for a passport, will not pinch them from the air and pin them for their passage, will not shoot them as they fly away. I will not shush the roaring seas beating upon the border from another nation's shore, will not pretend its origins are worth less or more. We are each of us worth our weight in water or in papeles. I will not ask each grain of sand from whence it came, will not interrogate the sediments and segregate them by shade. I will not cast a net around the beaches. Llorando por tu amor. I do not know how to love you in English. No sé cómo te amo en español. Only know that all life begins with love that cannot be walled or conquered. I will not ask love where it comes from. Only know that it resides in me, in the descansos dar in the desert. I do not know what language bullets speak, have only ever heard them whisper past my head in words I do not wish to remember or repeat, would rather press palm to palm and whisper poems. Give us your tired, You're poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, would rather smile warm as stew-filled belly and break bread. I will not ask the flames I cook with for identification when they burn more orange than red, white, or blue, as I do not know how to eat in English, no sé cómo comer en español. I do not know how to breathe in English, no sé cómo respirar en español. I do not know how to bleed in English, no sé cómo sangrar en español, but I think it is the same, creo que es lo mismo con mis palabras y con mi lengua rota. Yo trato hablar. No es fácil de entender que al verte otra vez yo estoy llorando, llorando, llorando. Okay, I'm we could do that one for a little while. We could sing that song for 14 years, apparently, and still it doesn't seem to lose its relevance, and it becomes increasingly urgent, that poem, which does not delight me. I'm going to read a guide, how to move back into your body, because I think we all need it right now. 1, to move back into your body, you must begin by remembering the nests and caves that you have carved your name on, every home you have hidden in. You must remember all that you have left there and ask it to return. Your body is the only geography. It will know the way. 2, call your names to the winds, all of your names, the ones that belong to you, the ones that your skin still remembers wearing. Keep calling the names until they sing. They will sing. Answer them yes. Press your tongue flat, open your mouth and sing. Yes, it is the only answer one can give in times like these. When your voice begins to vibrate against the tight drum of your throat, when it rattles against your teeth and your cheekbones quiver, plant your feet and spread your arms and learn to breathe. 4, feel the tips of your fingers throb and hum with their new pregnant morning. Clap your hands against your thighs and dance to the resounding echo of your sonorous plump. Eat, drink, laugh until you are music again. Name each moving part yes. Call the name yes until they open. 5, breathe. Be a hymn for each dawn's dew. Be a sweet whisper, yes. 6, you were once a single drop of water fleeing a dry, hungry tornado, but you will soon see that you are a swallower of storms. That is the grumble in your belly. Say yes. 7, somewhere inside your body, in your belly button perhaps, or lodged deep in your throat, lies the only key you have ever needed to free yourself. Dive into the sunless and press the dark until it opens, revealing itself against your electric fingers. It is there. I promise. The earth reinvents herself. See the moon. What we know about the world is breathing. The universe is expanding. Some say, save your prayers. Some say, sleep dreamless. We want what we remember in the stone of our marrow, calling for freedom. Incarceration is an invention, not an inevitability. There is future here in memory, in prayer, ecstatic, desperate, wanting, knowing this was not always so, and so we reclaim what has been stolen. Don't you remember? When we were all one body, when the water was golden and so were we, all of us warm and glowing, when we were all manifestations of the same God, just trying to stay curious and entertained. It's funny when you think about it, how easy I could be you and you me, how we already were, how we already are. Remember? We, people like you, like me, make choices, which animals are fit to live and where, which trees, which birds, which people. It is amazing how quickly the dying rebound when people like you, like me, decide to stop killing them. How nature knows well, remembers herself, loves to live, will thrive again in a single generation. We imagined the borders, the prisons, the walls, the barbed wires, when trees talk underground, when birds have language we can't begin to understand. Imagine what we could imagine if we decided. What I mean to tell you is this. What is forgotten can be remembered. What is erased can be restored when we decide to do so. Together, policies that kill whole villages and species are made by people like you, like me, except we have forgotten too much of who we are to be trusted with the future. And so we, who remember our love, the weight of our grief, must be the ones to claim the way forward. We who hear our home, her wet, hot mouth singing, we who remember, we who imagine we were here, we were just here, we were all just here. Well, it's gonna be all right. No matter how black the night, there's a moon. Ain't nobody forgot about you. Every star knows your name. If you should stumble, ain't no need to feel ashamed, babe. Sing this lullaby from your mountains. Shout till it echoes in the caves. Lift your head up to the heavens until you're carried to your grave. And this is what we call the Black Girl Blues. Ain't called it depression so much as Tuesday, when we forget the promise of Saturday night sweat and Sunday morning song, when we forget to call tomorrow holy, because it's always another hill to climb, when today leaves bruises, catches round our throats, and leaves our voices whispers, when we forget to rebuke madness and call it the truth, we must remember to say to ourselves, you are not crazy. Resist when they snap at you to stretch your scabbed skin back over your bones. You will grow it anew every time. If your veins are easy to see, this does not mean that you are easy to kill, only that your life is impossible to ignore. You are a bleeding sun. When the calluses form, tear your skin from its meat, peel yourself open and let them smell the fruit of you. Spill into every mouth that speaks your name. Stain their fingers, you, magnificent point of light, a swallowing supernova. You are hammer and pickaxe, belly full of lava. You are a forever thing. When dark has forgotten its own weakness, you are flame, dancing it into hush. You are a blistering miracle, sun and sand tangled into indistinguishable horizon. Hum. And the earth will keep on course. You song, you lovely, you yes, you fiery stone mouth, you fleshy mirror, you pulpy always, you marvelous in your questing, glorious in pursuit of humble corners, you worship, you godchild, you queen of margins and handwritten notes. There is nothing wrong with you. You are a unicorn in a herd of goldfish muddying the pond, and no one has learned yet to sing your name. You star, you stone, you shine, you always, you inextinguishable, you perfect, you perfect, you perfect, you perfect, you perfect.
I wasn't ready. I was sitting on the floor and watching it, and I was just like, wow. And I was like, oh, let me get up off the floor. My pen. Hey. Thanks. One more time for Susie Q. Smith. I hope you all got well fed. I hope you all got watered. I hope you all got hugged. I hope you all got a nice firm handshake from the magic that Susie Q. Smith provided. I left my clipboard. Aston, what am I doing? Time? Yes? No time? Yes. We have time for one short poem. If nobody got up to the mic and they wanted to share and they feel called to share. Oh, Mateo? Question mark? Mateo's also here. I'm glad that Susie said it. I was gonna lie and be like, Mateo, Susie said to do a poem. Give it up for my bestie, Mateo.
Wow. I wasn't planning on coming out here, but you know what? When you get summoned, you have to do it. So awesome. It's great to see you as well, Susie. Amazing work as always. All right, cool. Well, let me pull something up real fast. So I've been working on some new shit. Let me see what I want to spit today. So, okay. Yeah, so this piece, let's see. I've been sitting with this piece for a while. I think before I get into it, I do want to give a little like disclosure. Let's see. So, I've been writing a lot of pieces that kind of talk about gender lately, because gender, I think, is something that our society is grappling with a lot, particularly talking about like masculinity and the relationship between men and women, and all those, kind of all the dynamics that kind of play into that. That being said, I think this piece was really just my attempt to kind of humanize kind of a dynamic that I was moving through and something that, I was experiencing. But that being said, I do have a little disclaimer on it. Also, if we could not clip this piece and put it online, that would be great. I was like, I think it's a good piece, but I think for now I want to keep it just to this audience. But I think before I get into it, I just want to say like poems themselves cannot do all the work of changing our world. I would say not to mistake this sliver of my world for the entirety of my perspective or reality on the issues that I'm mentioning. Some conversations are better had face to face rather than on a screen or a page. But some emotions also deserve to be expressed and released. So this is my way of making sense of the world around me. This piece is called Tough Love. I watched a girl that I grew up with have her light put out by the boy that she was with. Her once carefree laugh became heavy with grief. The stress engraved itself with years of arguments on her face. I heard her voice, once soft, become a snarl. Instinctively, her inflection would make me grip my teeth until I remembered where her hard exterior came from, and I softened myself. Her temper runs short. She can't tell the difference between man and danger anymore. In her world, they may as well be the same word. As the saying goes, men ain't shit, so she doesn't hear me when I speak anymore. Her words cut into me, reflecting her bleak worldview, and she doesn't flinch at the blood. Men and women do that a lot. Talk right past each other. We project our shadows like boogeymen crawling up the wall. I heard the poet Alok say recently, trying is the ambassador of love, so I try to practice grace. She reminds me of many women I've known before, lovers and friends with their spirits broken by men before. She reminds me most of my mother. I try my best to practice forgiveness. There's a lot of talk these days about what men and women owe each other in relationships. We have made up a lot of big words to say that we have given up on talking to one another. In this world, I cannot comment on what it is that we humans owe each other. I cannot comment on what it is that we deserve. There are too many bad things that happen to good people and so much senseless tragedy in the streets, and I am only lucky for the day. Most days I am agnostic with the truth, which is to say, it is a dog-eat-dog world, and maybe we don't owe each other anything, you and I. Isn't it so beautiful then, when we try anyway? Isn't it so devastating then, when we choose to turn away? No mud, no flowers, my love. Every day, I turn a page in a Buddhist book of wisdom. It has been one of the only things keeping me sane this year. Today, I plan to speak with you, and the quote I pulled read, "Practice compassion, even if nobody else does." a statement said without contempt, without expectation for reward. At the end of the day, I know my reflection is the one I have to face in the mirror. I am responsible for my own words and actions. I know the mind is a garden and flowers grow where you water them. So I try anyway, even if you continue to break my heart, because my spirit cannot bear the world we build where we have all given up on each other. Thank you.
I love my friends. Man, Mateo's poetry is great. There were tears and crying. All right, that's the end of our open mic. I have a couple of words for y'all. First off, thank you so much for sharing. I feel like not a lot of people say thank you for sharing at open mics. And so I'm saying right now, thank you so much for sharing. Like I said before when I opened, this is probably going to be one of my favorite open mics. And it is one of my favorite open mics. So thank you so much. I have the logistical words, nitty gritty, all the things, right? This open mic costs $580. Just checked, this fact checked. $580 every month to put on. Being in DCM, the lights, the camera, the action, the tree, the boards, $580 every month. We are a small organization, nonprofit. Grants are being cut every year, every month, every week, and we're just like, damn, money, we need it. And so if you feel so inclined, donate, please give us money. Tell somebody who has money to give us money. If you don't have money, I'm sure one of us knows somebody who has money. Tell them to give it to us because we deserve it. We do poetry workshops. So if you're an educator, if you are a student, if you know somebody who's out of school, please bring us into your schools. We have really great workshops for young people. It's really fun to see young people be like, poetry's whack. And then we're like, hip hop and rap and everything else. And then we're like, poetry's dope. And then they get real into it and then they share it. And then we're just like, this is what we do, right? So if you are an educator, if you're watching and you're an educator and you want to bring us into the schools, www.sacred-voices.org. Get in contact with me. We'll talk about all the things. We serve all schools, but predominantly schools who serve free or reduced lunch students. And so those are our most marginalized students coming from low-income backgrounds, students of color, students with disabilities, 504 IEPs, MLL students, students with accessibility needs and translation needs. We serve all of those kids. We are the catch-all for all of those kids who focus on STEM, test scores, We bring the arts back into it because the arts is getting cut every single year. And we're just like, wait, the arts. The kids need the arts. Yes, they need STEM. Yes, they're going to be aerospace engineers. But like, sometimes a little doodle is nice. Sometimes a little poem is nice too. We have an end of the year fundraiser, December 12th. December 12th in this building on the 3rd floor. Did you know that this building has a 3rd floor? Now you do. On the 3rd floor. We're going to be next to KG&U. And so if you want to come support us for our end of the year fundraiser, it's December 12th. And we have a silent auction starting November 28th. So next month, you can get free tickets from us, DMNS, Clifford Steel, I think DCPA. Last time I checked, Costco, Woods Boss Brewery. It's a fun thing. We got a lot of things. We were calling a lot of people left and right. And they're like, who are you? And we were like, free stuff? And they're like, yup. We're going to send it right now. I think I said all the things. Maybe. If you want your videos, QR code. First, take the survey. That is a requirement. You take the survey first, and then you ask for your videos. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Live your life. But it would be really nice for you to take our survey. If you are the online peoples, our survey is on our website. We just want to hear your voices. I just heard that you can get a $25 Amazon gift card. So, raffled into that. Amazon is the devil, and also we need it. So, if you need that $25, take the survey. That's all I have for you all. I am the host with anxiety. I usually am not here a lot, and I'm so glad it tickled y'all. See? Today was a great night. I'm glad I came out. Thank you all for sharing. Thank you to Susie Q. Smith. We're going to close out. Thank you so much.